Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, October 11th, 2022. This is the Town of Scituate update. I'm Karen Canfield from the Select Board, and I am joined by our Town Administrator, Jim Bedreau, and School Superintendent, Bill Burkett. I will send it right over to Jim to give us updates about town events and issues.
Good morning. We'll start with water. We actually have good news on the water. The reservoir's at minus 48. Last week we were at minus 55. Tack Factory Pond is actually +1. It's the first time we've been in the plus in the Tack Factory Pond in months. We picked up 12 inches since last week. Last week we were minus 11. So the average daily demand was 1.095 million gallons a day. That's down from last week's 1.167. The Commonwealth has now upgraded us from a significant drought to a level 1 mild drought. We are still taking our manganese samples. They are below action level set by DEP for both August and September. Samples taken in the distribution of the system range from 0.007 to 0.054 milligrams per liter. 0.3 milligrams per liter is what is actioned by the state, so they are very, very low at this time. We will continue to work, as I've said, with our consultant to come up with a fix for next summer to keep those manganese levels from going out into the system. But the true fix for that is the new water treatment plant, which we are working on even as we speak. If you have brown water, please let the water department know. Those are data points for us, and we might be able to find a quick fix to your particular solution. The water department also is distributing water to people who have brown water. Please, this is not just free water for you to pick up. This is for people who have brown water. So if you have brown water, you can go down to the water department and pick up water from them. Rainfall over the last 7 days was 3 inches as measured at the treatment plant, and Selco is still working on Foxwell Lane this week. Still no paving this week. The rain last week kind of threw everybody's schedule off. We will make sure that all our remaining paving gets done before the end of the paving season. Work continues on Glades Road on the Minot Stairs. It's dependent on the tide. They will continue that for the next couple of weeks. Just a reminder that that is a one-way from Gannett to Bailey's Causeway while that work is going on. See the picture behind me? If I take the updated picture, the lantern room is no longer on the top of the lighthouse. We successfully removed that on Thursday. It has been placed in the yard of the lighthouse keeper and fenced off. Senaxco, our contractor, will now be out there today and probably for a couple of days this week. They'll be looking to secure the top of the lighthouse, make it watertight, and make any repairs necessary to get it through the winter. In the meantime, now that the lantern room is on the ground, our design team will be able to get a better look at it to see whether that lantern room can be repaired or whether it will need to be replaced. Once that decision is made, we will let people know. The time for this project is to be completed late spring, early summer of 2023. So now we get into the real big design work on that lantern room now that we've gotten on the ground. If a decision is to make a new lantern room to completely replace it, then the town will also have discussions about whether or not we can save the old lantern room and where we might want to place that if we do. Last reminder on this, Scituate Police Department is hosting a blood drive to remember and honor those fighting cancer this Saturday, October 15th from 8 a.m. to 2:30 at the Public Safety Complex, 800 Chief Justice Cushing Highway. Reservations are recommended. Walk-ins will be taken if available. You can go to the town website or the police website and register for those spots. The Board of Health will be hosting a flu clinic for residents and town employees on Thursday, October 20th from 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Scituate Harbor Community Building. For details, this is also registration. For details on how to register, go to scituatema.gov, follow the links, and you'll be able to register for that. They are saying it's going to be a bad flu season, so if you have an opportunity, this is a good chance to go down and get your flu shot down at the Harbor Community Building. The Veterans Advisory Council is announcing the following events for Veterans Day, which is Friday, November 11th, 2022 this year. At 11 a.m., the American Legion Post 144 will be having a flag ceremony at the Scituate Senior Center. That'll be followed by a Veterans Luncheon at noontime, also at the Senior Center. Reservations are required for the luncheon. Call 617-842-0092 to reserve your spot. We will have this on the website, but please make your reservations early. I believe it's sold out last year. It's a great event. So if you'd like to attend the luncheon, please make your reservation. Following the luncheon, the Scituate Food Pantry will be hosting their salute to service on the Senior Center patio from 1 to 2:30. Dessert, gifts, and music will be provided to veterans by the food pantry. I know that was a great event last year. So if you have a time, make sure you get up there and take part. It's a great event. While this is going on at the Scituate Community Christmas, they will have the Sea of Support, which is a field of flags to honor all known living Scituate veterans. And this will be in place November 10th through the 13th. We'll be posting this on our website. We'll be sending out reminders, but please, veterans out there, if you'd like to attend, make sure you make a reservation for that lunch. And finally, reminder, we are looking for plow drivers. I went down the Cape yesterday. I was driving up Route 3. There's a big electronic sign. Mass DOT is looking for plow drivers. Situate's looking for plow drivers. Norwell's, everybody's looking for plow drivers, but we've raised our rates. We're competitive. It's a great job if you're looking for it. So please contact the DPW if you're looking to plow. And that's what I have for today.
Thank you, Mr. Bedreau. There are just a couple of town meetings today, this week, sorry. Tonight, Coastal Advisory will meet at 6 p.m. At 6:30, the library trustees will meet. They're going to be discussing their new fine-free rollout. So if you are a library user, that's exciting. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock, the Beach Commission will meet. And on Thursday, the Planning Board meets at 6:30. First up on their agenda is to discuss the proposed development at the Rotary on New Driftway. All of the agendas can be found on our town website. I just also want to note that early voting for the November 8th election is coming up. The town clerk has announced that beginning October 22nd through November 4th, you can go to town hall for early voting, and all of the specifics are on the town website. If you have requested a mail-in ballot, the town clerk would really appreciate it if you could return it as soon as possible so that they can process and secure those ballots and they can be counted on the 8th. That's the town meeting agenda, and I will turn it over to Mr. Burkhead, Superintendent Burkhead.
Thank you, Ms. Canfield, and good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I'd like to start off with an update from the new building project. We are excited to have received 3 quality responses to our request for services for a designer for the Hatherley School project. All 3 have fantastic reputations and have experience with elementary school design, including consolidating schools. The next steps will include reviewing responses with the school building committee and then attending the MSBA Designer Selection Board meeting in November, followed by an interview of the 3 firms with the MSBA committee in late November. We look to have an update for the school community at our October 24th meeting, and will be accompanied by our OPM at that meeting. So hopefully you can make that or catch that online as well. Something new we're starting this year for increased in better communication. As we know, not everybody can make our school committee meetings. We'll be blasting out via our app, our new school app. And if you don't have that, we encourage you to go on your phone and just type in Scituate Schools in the app location and download our app. You'll get regular push notifications. So we'll be sending out school committee highlights and summaries along with the link to the meeting if you aren't able to meeting. So that way you don't have to go searching for the meeting. You'll have the highlights of the meeting sent out to you, and you'll also have a link to the meeting. So if you should choose to look it up. In other news, we're in an effort to identify specific areas of strength and growth to support an equitable education for all of our students. We are working with an independent outside agency called Public Consulting Group to conduct a district-wide equity audit. The audit will assess current policies and practices to identify any areas of strength and or growth regarding the educational experiences of our students, staff, and families. The goal of this audit is to identify these strengths and areas of growth in a district and to make recommendations on how we can move forward in achieving the best outcomes for our students. This information will also be used in the development in our strategic plan, which will be starting in January and involving the entire community. So a lot of exciting things happening there. I would just like to wrap up with a shout out to our Situation school newspaper at Scituate High School, Anna Kelly, reporter. She interviewed me for the Situation on the discussion about teaching shortages and specifically our world language department at the high school. Very impressed with Anna and her questions and her passion for the subject. So please be on the lookout for the Situation newspaper. It's a great read, and we have many outstanding reporters and editors on that paper, and it's a very good product. So I want to thank Anna and the rest of the team at the Situation. Have a great week, everybody.
Great. Thanks, Bill. I think the Situation is our last local newspaper, so we may all be turning to it for local news after the update. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful day, and we will talk to you next week.